All right. So we are here. Morning, everybody. Daily profit plan. All righty. Trending Thursday. Well, that's the market. What did we do yesterday with we've had Friday, Monday, Tuesday, even yesterday through FOMC, all nothing burger type days from opening bell, closing bell, not much, everything within the expected range. Let's go to the heat map from yesterday. Nvidia down. We're going to see if there's some more follow through there. I'm curious. We do have a newsbreakers trade that runs out through Friday. If we can get to 166 or 165 or lower, that would be nice. We'll see where that's at. Maybe it's just back into 170s again, which kind of suck. But if it's a 166 or lower, that's pulling some profit. This was interesting yesterday. The markets pretty much finished flat. We had 51% declining, 45% advancing. I did find something pretty interesting overnight. Yesterday, the AAII sentiment survey was printed, and there's a massive jump in the neutral party, which was in the 20s. You can see here this neutral print for the last 3 weeks has now looked like they jumped off into a neutral to now a bull. So there's a big jump up in bullish sentiment, and there's a decent decrease in bearish. So the neutral party essentially says, all right, we got to pick a side. I guess after a 40% reflexive rally off the April lows, they decided to jump bullish. Better late than never. But I think this also is a chance, and it may not be literally today, but going into the end of the month, I feel like when you're getting this neutral party on the fence and you're sitting here at all-time highs and they go from neutral to bullish, I think that's what kind of turns the corner into you're going to get this crowd as the sucker, at least in the short term. So I think this is, I feel like we're getting closer to at least a near-term correction. I'm using my daily profit indicator based on the close yesterday. Close is at 6,600. So let me make that reference. I did 6,601, but I didn't realize it was right at the numbers at 6,600. So we're looking at opening up today a little bit higher. ES is fading pretty quickly. I pulled this up as well. Look at this thing. So post FOMC, here's your 6 p.m. futures up all night, up all night, up all night, coming into futures this morning. We're right back where we started from just getting above the FOMC high. I think this is a make or break for the day. Either this is going to use the FOMC candle as support to go back up and retest the highs, or if we give this back, then we're putting in that near-term top that I've been looking at. Okay, so I would like to focus on, not a surprise, at least in the short term, trying to sell coming into today. Okay, so highs on the day, we're going to be gapping higher. We'll be gapping slightly above the FOMC highs, but this has gone from 0.84%. I'm looking at the futures right here, gone to 0.84% positive now to 0.38. So if futures continues to roll over and we get into this FOMC, we could have a pretty interesting day to the downside. And I'm curious how these gamma levels play out, because gapping higher, I almost wonder if we're not going to be able to hit 50, 70, and 6,700 today, and we start to fill up some of these other levels. We have also a positive and negative gamma pivot zone at 65.95, but we're quite a bit above that, at least at the open this morning. Okay. Cindy, do you think the market cares? I don't. I think NBC might care. I think Jimmy Kimmel watchers might care, but I don't think the market's going to care. VIX is red. That's not necessarily true, because what we saw yesterday was a big VIX expiration, and it was a reset of risk from 16 down to 14. But also, every time we've seen the VIX all the way back down to sub 15, it tends to get elevated. So in the near term, look at this has been going up for the morning. So, I mean, the VIX is always a slippery thing. We clearly stopped going up. This is that vol suppression I've talked about all year, where the market just refuses to let anything scare it. But at least in the short term, again, just watch futures. If this market this morning is going to use this resistance as support, then we bounce right back up. But if this market is going to, have this resistance and all of a sudden we start coming back below it, well, then we're in this big news candle range that might continue to head lower. I think that the divisive line right now is, 6,600 is either, it's almost like the bulls kind of check that high and now they might recheck this low. But this is all price action I kind of need to see unfold today. Okay. So 0.4%. We'll see if there's a bounce here. As high as 0.8%. We don't really have any major news this morning. It all came out at 8:30. That was unemployment claims. Bank of England did not cut rates, but you can see their monetary policy committee did change their vote. So 0.27 versus 0.18, but they kept rates the same at 4%. Unemployment claims came in slightly better than expected. The 263 was up, I guess, revised up to 264, 241 down to 231. But I don't know if that's a great thing or not. We have such strict immigration policies right now that our numbers are probably going to be pretty terrible. By the time we come into early October, I think we're going to get another very disappointing print for non-farm payroll. Japanese yen overnight. This could be interesting right in the piggyback of FOMC. Are they doing anything with monetary policy? Is Japanese yen going to do some wild and crazy stuff this evening? I'm not sure. So we'll figure it out. All right. So keep an eye on futures this morning. I'll spot check this chart. Looking at FOMC noise yesterday, we hung in there all day. I posted this for my daily profit play members, those that had the courage to kind of wait it out. And it wasn't easy. I mean, this was kind of the way the day played out yesterday. So I posted this around 111. So this is going into FOMC. Small loss. I was down like $20. I pulled in 150 on the trade yesterday. I was down $20 going into FOMC. So I put 3 ways to play this. Accept the result, small loss, like $10, $20 prior to the 2 p.m. Try for the volatility crush right after 2 p.m. And traders that jumped on my live session with me, they had an opportunity for a quick like 20, 30 cents. This was right around FOMC. It was 20, 30 cents like into the rate cut decision, which is from like 2 to 2:30. And then Powell's press conference started. And it was, kind of that decision of, okay, where are we going? We're in the center. Probability profit on the option chain was showing like 95%. So I opted for, step 2 and step 3, which is I looked at a little bit of volatility crush. I didn't take profit early. And so I embraced the risk, not for the day. I ended up closing out for $1.10. So I got $1.10 debit and $1.50 was my credit. So I pulled in 40 cents per contract, which is a nice winner. It was 26%, sticking with the rules that I typically trade in daily profit play. So 40 cents winner. And then during more drama, as we rolled to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this $1.10 debit was trading down to like 30 cents. So it did offer, full credit for the day. If you did nothing, the market makers did like exactly the job. And on top of that, it wasn't just market makers. It is zero DT flow. This day yesterday, if I can just go to my software for a moment, this day yesterday, we saw so much support and resistance in the market at the same time. It was kind of crazy. So let me go to SPX. And we'll go to pre-market here. So pre-market, we're gapping higher. Biggest levels, we've kind of already checked all these boxes to the upside. Biggest level coming in pre-market, 6,600. And we're going to be gapping slightly above or right at this FOMC high. So, again, I'm probably looking at mechanics to fade this thing. We might look at a reverse iron condor. We've had 4 days of nothing, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, we're coming into a Thursday. I'm hoping we can get maybe a $5.90 to $6 credit on a reverse iron condor for my strategy 2 daily profit play. If that is the case, I mean, all we need the price to do is move 15, 20 points today. Whether it's up or down, I don't really care. That's a pretty straightforward way to do it. But I certainly wouldn't mind seeing some volatility. Okay. Greg, what's that? Decided to stay in, rode the wave, took 90% profit for 1140 win. That's freaking sweet. Nice work, Greg. Yeah, and you kind of had to dig in. You had to dig in for that because it was a very noisy day yesterday. But as I said, I mean, did I not talk about an indecision candle? Right, I did. I clearly talked. So let's go back to maybe we come back to like 66. This is futures. Let me see if we come back to like this FOMC chop zone. So right before FOMC, I'll set a chart alarm in here. Okay, and then I'll put a chart alarm here back to all-time highs. So this one is all-time highs. This one is kind of in the thick of FOMC. So maybe like FOMC range bound. Let's make that an alert. So edit, message, FOMC range. And just get a little sense of what things are doing today. So, could it be a past high? So this is FOMC high yesterday. Is that offering support in the near term? Yes, no, maybe so. If price falls lower, we're back inside this candle range. I think it is easier for this to be an unwind to the downside over the next maybe week or two. We still have all of next week to trade and into Tuesday, September 30th, to wrap up the month and the quarter. But don't put it past this market to grind higher, because that's clearly what it's showing us. And the VIX, reset essentially from almost 17 all the way down to low 14s. So, we'll see. But gamma levels are pretty wide. 6650. We could certainly test that level today. Based on the futures market, I mean, we're probably looking at an open around like 6630 or so. So I think what I'm going to do is probably look at like 15 deltas, 10 deltas, or just give it a dead zone and give me like a 15 to 20 point dead zone, trade the direction today. If we push up to all-time highs, great. If we don't, maybe a reverse iron condor for tomorrow's expiration, just to give us some movement. We'll see how it prices out. We've got about 15 minutes before we have opening bell. Wall Street set for higher prices indicates more rate cuts. Intel soars, huh? Let's see what soars mean. Intel. Where's pre-market Intel? Holy shnikes. Good God. That is soar. Wow. Intel is freaking up 30%. You've got to be kidding me, man. Well, I mean, I have a cover call. That's why I'm like, son of a B. Well, that makes things interesting. Does anybody own Intel just with no covered calls? Because that is a heck of a rip. That's an impressive rip, actually. Look at that thing. So my target on Intel when I started buying shares around $20 and sub 20 was to get back into this gap fill around $30. If I was in the trade and I had this thing uncovered, I would be getting out now. Like I would be bailing on this trade. That's a great trade. That's all I wanted from Intel. What a rip, man. And again, is it sustainable? Maybe we'll see. But yeah, I've got it with cover calls as well. It's an income trade. I've turned it into an income trade. I've accepted the fact that, my cover call is at $22.50 or $23, $24 cover call you can see here. But I own the shares at like 17. So it's not like I'm making nothing on the trade. I just capped my upside from like 17 to 24. But now that it's up to 30 plus, as I get closer to expiration on these cover calls, I can just continue to roll them for, maybe 50 cents or a dollar, keep the trade alive, keep generating some income. If we're going to keep going higher. Now, yes, I'm sacrificing the upside if we just keep going higher, higher, higher. But wow, what a trough. Bottom out here around $18. And so I guess it's nice when the government takes 10% stake in your company. Yeah. So yeah, I've got it with cover calls too. It's fine, but I'll roll them. We'll be rolling for income. NVIDIA today, let's see what this is doing. Well, so much for 166. Now we're at 175. Fudge muffin, man. I think I've got NVIDIA on newsbreakers. I need to see if this gets back to like 180 something or 190 something. Let me check. NVIDIA newsbreakers, the 190. Okay, we're right in the middle. This is going to suck this morning. So this one's likely going to be heading towards a full loss because it's right in the freaking middle. I needed to get up to 190 plus or back down to 165. That's a bummer. I mean, it's only $3.70. It's not the end of the world, but it's frustrating that yesterday it was only down about 50%, and today it's going to be much closer to a full loss. But it is what it is. That didn't move. Pinch, on the other hand, we've got some more time on pinch point, and this one's priced out for 322 to make 6 or make 7. So we should be able to make up for that loss pretty easily with a win on pinch. All right. Futures back up to 0.48. So it looks like we are getting a bounce off of that past resistance of the FOMC candle. Let's zoom in here on the 15-minute time frame. So there's some futures price action. FOMC high, getting a little bit of a bounce right here. This morning's flows, do we come back up and test the highs? We'll find out. Do we roll over? Let's find out. So levels on the day, I'm looking at my daily profit light indicator, our 100 to 150 ATRs. 6650 is the biggest gamma level of today, but we could stretch up to like 70 and 6700. That's a big move. I mean, if we go from close, that's 1.5% to the upside. I don't think we're going to hit that high, but certainly with the VIX at 15, I mean, we're getting like a 0.9% move. So let's go VIX at 1505. So a 0.94% move based on the close. So 0.94 puts us up to around the 66.60 zone. 66.60 to 66.65 potential top. Okay, and then a 0.94 around 65.40 potential bottom. Okay, and VIX here, there's your 66.60, and here's your 65.40. So the VIX box helps me do that, plus the ATR levels based on the close. And this will open up here in about 10 minutes. So I'll just make the adjustment on previous close. I just like to do the manual to see where they're at pre-market. And this would be into the 100, 150%. I'm hoping for a directional day. I think the easier trade for me to have like managed risk, decent probability of reward is we get some direction on the day. The market at least moves, 20 points or so to the upside or downside, and we can get price to either one, fill this gap with FOMC, because if we're gapping up here, we fill that gap, that should be more than 15, 20 points of movement. If we obviously melt up higher, I mean, how much higher do we go? Do we melt up into this like 100 plus percent ATR, 150 ATR? Those are levels that I'd like to be shorting. So, and full transparency, I'm probably going to sprinkle in some more freaking Brooklyn butterflies. If I can get the call sides up to like 6750, 6800 by the end of this month or early October, I'm probably going to keep fading this move. And again, I could be overdoing it, and I could be having this like unnecessary short-term risk if the market just refuses to go down. I just feel that coming into FOMC, it's just a big shake out of volatility, reset in volatility, and now we see where the market's going. Now, if you were with me in the live session looking at what Jerome Powell said, some of the takeaways, it really wasn't crazy dovish. I would consider it was kind of like a hawkish cut. They're still going to be looking to cut. There was like one massive dissent. I think that was is it Stephen Mirren was the one that was like, cut 50 basis points, for the next the two rate decisions and put us down to like sub 3%. It's like, well, we're not going to get there that fast. So I did take some screenshots. The one that in particular I took a screenshot of was Powell's comment was, I can no longer say the labor market is solid. And that was actually when the market was falling to like 65, 60 yesterday, but it bounced back up and finished at 66. We don't need to move quickly on rates. So if we're going to be cutting rates, it's just going to be slow and steady. They also continued to say 2% inflation target, 2% inflation target, acknowledge that there's some risk and labor issues as well. It was, but we still cut rates, and the path is still forward. The watch tool shows like 90+%. They're going to keep cutting rates through the end of the year. So we probably have an October and a December, but this is truly what I think the market was pricing in anyway. Okay. So now we're looking for October with an 83% chance of cutting rates, and December, a 71% chance of cutting rates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is really silly, but if we already cut once. We cut yesterday. So this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, what is this? I would imagine this is going to be a pause. I don't think we're going to go into late 2027 raising rates. That would be weird if we did. Okay. So the path is likely going into that that kind of strategic 25 basis points, month by month. And Powell said that as well. A lot of things are month by month. He acknowledged that, tariffs might be a one-time price increase. But I mean, again, it's like this drama just keeps happening. Literally, it's like wait and see, wait and see, wait and see. Now it's finally here. What happens? And it's just a shakeout. So this true. I mean, for today's trading, this is what I want to watch. If futures gives back some of this breakout of the FOMC candle, then I think we are heading into that correction I've been talking about. Okay. And for me, it's like, I'm hoping that we are below 66.40 by the end of the week, because I want that broke wing to pay us. I'm hoping that we're below 66.40 by the end of the month, because I've got a call condor for waterfall income that I want to pay us, right? I've got broke wing butterflies galore at 67, 6800 that I want to pay us, right? So I'm hoping that we've survived long enough on this wait and wait and wait and melt up and melt up and melt up that it's finally going to roll over just a little bit in the near term. One big level that should matter by the end of this month, and it's not this week, but it's the end of the month, 6,500. If we at least make an attempt to get down to 6,500, we can find support there. But 6,500 is the JPM collar trade. That's a big, 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 ridiculous gamma level. And I mean, if we're going to come back inside this FOMC range and then give it back, or we don't sustain these highs, then I think we sweep the 6,550, make our way down to 6,500, and we see where support really sits. Because the crazy part is the moving averages here on SPX on the daily, the 50-day moving average is way below. I mean, the 50-day moving average is way down here at 6,400. So getting to 65, I mean, we just fall a little bit lower. Maybe this turns the corner a little bit. But until we take out, this low or this low, even a pullback into this area is just what we've been seeing here. You top, you pull back. You top, you pull back. You top, you pull back. You top, maybe we pull back. And it just kind of continues to grind through this choppy range until maybe price, takes out a low. So I think overall the cut yesterday was just highly anticipated. It was a tip of the cap, like, hey, look, let's satisfy all this pressure that's been building and mounting. We acknowledge it's been restrictive. Maybe it's a little bit too late, but we're playing ball now. However, they're still staying firm, and they're pretty keen on just maintaining some semblance of independence. So a token rate cut, like Cindy just said, that's kind of what it was. I would say some of the tonnage was maybe a bit hawkish, where the market didn't really get everything it wanted out of it. And so that's why I'm watching futures so closely this morning. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep an eye on this for the day right over here. Because if this gets back below like 0.3%, okay, now it's already at 0.44, but it has up to 0.8% with retesting highs. And if it comes back lower to like 0.3, 0.2, it's just giving back the day's gains. And if we slide that way, then we're leaning a little bit bearish on futures. But I'm going to go back to the 50-minute time frame here and go back to futures and watch this for the morning, because coming into today's opening bell, it's right here. Yeah. Previous high from FOMC, we're right at it. So are we giving it back for the day? I am contemplating a couple things today. I think reverse iron condor is probably going to be the easiest trade, because that way we can let price melt up and revisit the highs for the day, or it can give back more, and we end up settling into some of these bigger levels. So opening bell in about 4 minutes. Pre-market 6,600 is a pretty key level today. If we're running into some of this resistance, let me make sure I'm doing the ultra short here. Let's go. So this is for Friday. Here's ultra short for today. Okay, so 66.50, positive, negative pivot levels around 65.95. All right. So I think we're going to be opening up right around this FOMC high. So if we open up FOMC high, are we going to try to hit 66.50 for the morning? I want to see what type of credit I can get if I did a, 50, 55, 60, 65. So 60, 65 potential top based on my VIX box and previous day's close. That would be a 150% ATR. I'm hoping that price can't find that today. So if we have a slight gap higher, that should allow us to get a decent credit, or we can put in a couple penny orders and try to get filled at $1. Okay. All right. What else is going on? What is the likely resistance level now since it blew through the support level? Did you wait? Are we sure we're talking about the same support resistance there, David? Look, we're back at it. Like, this is resistance. We're back at it. So this is resistance. We're back at it. Now, what matters is, does it bounce here to go to highs, or does it give it back? Right? If it gives it back, that resistance, if price comes down below it, if we give that resistance back, then this opens up the move to the FOMC lows. So if support in this case doesn't hold, and this resistance doesn't hold as support, then we give it back, and I'm eyeing that low. Right? But if we're going to bounce resistance here to become support and we bounce back up, then we're looking at near-term resistance towards the highs of the day. That would be my guess to where things kind of go today. Okay. Oh, for Intel, I got you. Okay, Intel, yeah, there's no resistance on Intel. Just look at the trade on Intel is if you're long and you don't have anything covered, just do the math. I mean, my profit target was fill this gap at $30 and it did and exceeded it. It's probably not going to stick. Like we open up at 31, it's probably going to fade back. But longer term, it's like this is a big win for Intel. Carving out this low, gapping higher. Now this becomes support. Now the $25, $26 zone becomes support, and see if this can actually, hold this gain. And, I'd look left up there. I mean, we're talking $50. Look fundamentally, I mean, this has been a pretty good trade, lining up for a while, plus government interest, of course. So fundamentally discounted cash flow, Intel. Okay. No real risk. Snowflake's a little bit weak, but, future looks good, good value. Financially, I'd say reasonable health, but there's certainly, I've seen better. Qualcomm, I mean, that's the snowflake you want to see, but we're trading at 2.2 times sales. I want to see price to earnings actually, but fair value is $40. Discounted cash flow showing $40. We're at 31, 32 right now. So there's still room to run. All right. Opening bell. Let's get to it. Let's get cracking. Ivy rank at 14. Today's the 18th. And I'm going to flip this around. How high can we go? All right. So we're at 66.30. Couple ways I can play this. I could go 35.30. Flip this around. So I can go in the money, 20 and 25, 35 and 30. That's a 570 fill. Maybe go up 20 points here. Let me see if I can get $6 on this fill. 610 maybe, 615. I'm going to try reverse iron condor. 615 not filling. I want $6 on this trade if I'm going to take it. We haven't had any real direction in 4 days, so I'm going for a little bit of direction today. I'm going 20 wide in this dead zone. That'd be a 20 and 40. 610 not filling. 605. If it doesn't fill at 6, I'm not going to take this trade. Okay, 605. Final offer is at 6. I don't feel like we should have to go any wider than that. Let me cancel this and try it again. If I went 15, 20, let's go 35 and 30. See if I can get 610 on this. I'm basically neutral, going center over price. Try for another $6 on this trade. 610 not filling. 605. Trying $6. Come on, man. Okay, we're at 66.30 right now. Big level at 66.50. I do see this as a pretty solid resistance level. So I'm going to see if I can get something around that like 55 and 60 zone and start scaling in. Let's see what those offer up. So if that reverse iron condor is not going to fill, then let me just look at the call side. So we've got a 60. Okay, that's offering $1 and change. So $1 there. 80 cents. I'm going to try to get $1 on this trade. So $1 at the 55 by 60. And then I'll go 65 by 70. And I will go 75 by 80. This one I'm willing to go 2 contracts. Actually, no, I'll just go back to 1. One contract. All right. So I'm looking to get filled 55 by 60 bear call, 65 by 70 bear call, 75 by 80 bear call. I got filled on the 55 by 60. So one trade is in right here. I'm typing this in for daily profit play. So today's the 18th. 66.55 or 66.65. 55. Okay. And then I'm adding two more. And then the 66.75. Oops. Okay, so one filled for $1. The other two are pending. And this high is around 45. That's a 100% ATR. The gamma level is at 66.50. I'm selling just above that at the 55. So what I might also do is be willing to, let me look at my levels here. Could we get a reverse iron condor still set up for today to let it kind of run for the day? 20 and 25, 40 and 35. I mean, give me $6, would you? Jeez, such a crummy fill. 595. All right, I'm going to try 590. I really don't love that fill. 590. I think 595 should fill. Come on. So pending reverse daily profit play, 590 credit. It's pending, hasn't filled. It's got to be close, but I'd rather have $6 on that trade. Just going to be tough to get. 70.75 for $1.05. What? That's a great fill, man. That's a really good fill. Don't you have? Yeah, we do. We do. Yep. Intel here. We do have a pinch point trade. So it's up, 30%. It's not a bad one to just to take and protect. It's up $80. We put this one out a while. I mean, honestly, hitting a 30% target and not having to sit until December is probably a good trade. Let me see if I can grab 259. Let's grab like at least a 30% on that one. That's not bad. If I want to close it early because we had a nice pop to the upside, let's just take it. 259 and 80 would be what, 340? Now some $90. Let's see when we can close this thing down. Yeah, so 360 is already my take profit. It's trading for 347. Let's try to get like 350 on this thing. 349. I'm going to close out Intel for pinch point if I can get it filled. 349 not filling. Hopefully you get 348 or better, or 345 or better. All right, I'm going to try 345. All right, I'll let that marinate for the day at 345. Ah, that makes sense. I was like, that's a really good fill to go further out than I was. So you did tomorrow. So we are up around showing $70 right now. I want to try to get this one up to 30+%. We had the take profit set originally at three. I think I did 358. I'm just going to set this at 345 is fine. That would be 345 minus 259. Be up 86 bucks. That's over 30%. I take that winner. All right. Back to SPX for the morning. I'm going to cancel that reverse iron condor because I'm not getting filled. Let me see if I can price it out again. Tomorrow, that broken wing. I mean, I'd love to see price below 66.40. For tomorrow, do we? I'm trying to get a good fill on a directional play today. So I want that reverse iron condor, man. 20 and 40. $6. Not filling. I'll try to get 590 again. I'll try 595. Not filling. I'll try 590. I'm not taking less than 590 though. You son of a gun. All right. I'm just going to cancel it like it won't fill. So fudge it. Bear call spread is in. Pinch point set a take profit at 345. So today this is a bear call. On the day, in for $1. It's already up 20 bucks. If I can pull 50 bucks or more out of this one, I'd be pretty happy with that. Genius says, can't make this trade in my cash account. That depends on your broker. I've got a lot of cash accounts. I got a lot of IRAs. I can take whatever trades I want. So your brokers hopefully allow you to do that. Tasty trade, if you have an IRA account or cash account, you can do what's called the works, and you can trade whatever you want. Okay, so pending orders on the bear calls. And obviously the day is just starting. Futures, let's go back to this ES feed and back to the 15-minute. Are we giving back some of the FOMC range? It looks like we kind of are a little bit. So we're back down below this FOMC resistance. If this is going to be a decent like fading day, if this chart alarm goes off, I've got chart alarm set at the highs again, or giving some of it back. So we'll see if we make a run back down to this positive negative gamma pivot zone between 6,600, 6,595. Or it's just like an island and nothing happens. I would think that today is going to be a bit more directional. And hopefully that direction is to the downside. Regular daily profit play for the day. David, if you were in any of my 5 master classes that I've done in the last 2 weeks, you should just go to your deltas, find your deltas, look at your trade. So on the call side, you're looking at this 66, 55, and 60 zone. On the put side, you're looking around the 65, 75, and 80 zone. Something like this. So you get for a 5 wide, you get $1.15, $1.20, and go delta neutral at 15 deltas. That trade looks pretty good. And yes, we're still in the butterflies. All the broken wing butterflies. I'm in all the broken wing butterflies. Okay. The one that is the most pressing is the 6640 with tomorrow's expiration. That is the big one. Meaning, like, I have risk. If we're above 6640, I have risk. If price is above 6645, I'm taking some risk on that. But if it's below 6640, it's profit. If it's dancing around 6640, we might even have a lucky profit target, like a bonus profit tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, 65.75 bear call spread. Okay, $1.05. That's good. That's great. $1.05 now at 55. It's a nice winner there, Larry. Yeah, very nice. So we're just kind of dancing around between. We opened up above the 50. This is 50% ATR. So I'm curious, do we gap fill today? We come back in here. I'll put a chart alarm for gap fill. Or do we get back to some fresh highs? I'm going to put, I guess I'll just put the chart alarm at 55. This would be my bear call risk level. So I did the 55 by 60. So 55 by 60 is my bear call. It's up $40. Not a bad trade just to take. If this is up like Intel just filled for credit, so that's a winner on pinch point. Thank you very much, Miss Lippy. Pinch point. I'm taking the winner there. So I'll put this in Telegram. This is Intel. Trade number 51, 3.45 credit. 3.45 minus 2.59. 33% winner there. Not bad. Pinch point update. So pinch point here, trade management. Trade number 51. Intel entry was 2.59 debit. Closed 3.45 credit. Intel with a nice gap higher today, closing for 33.2% profit and not waiting until expiration. Done. Market another winner, 84.4% pinch point. Good stuff. We're up now over 50% on our bear call spread. Might just grab that profit and move on for the day. Let's see if we can get, come on, man, just fill this gap and give us like 70, 80, 90 bucks out of that dollar. Price is cooperating pretty nicely this morning, fading. I don't want to get greedy here. I realize there's risk, but let me see if I can get this thing closed out for, a 40-cent debit's pretty good, pretty quick. That's 60%. Try to get 40 cents. Nice, Bruce. 105 close for 50 cents. Good day. Great day. Yeah, that's good. Let me go 45, take 55 bucks out of this thing. 45 fill. I'll sit at 45 for a second. So I'm going to go after just a quick 50 plus % winner. Hopefully we get this thing filled. Nice. Swan 50 cents. There we go. Just got filled 45. So that trade's done and over with. Quick win on daily profit play. We'll take it all day. So 9.18 center price. High was around 66.30. So we're going 9.18 expiration, 66.55 call, 66.60 call. That was filled for $1, exiting for 45 cents. Risk was 4. Nice little 13.75 return on risk. Quick winner. And I'll let price do whatever it needs to do. The lower this goes, the better our trade looks for tomorrow. Ideally, going into that 66.40 level, that's the broken wing butterfly for tomorrow. If this pushes back below 6,600, that makes Friday's trade look a lot better. Because right now, the options chain for Friday, you can see on the call side, 66.40 is trading at about a 30 delta. So, we actually honestly want price to drop a little bit lower today, getting to 6,600, maybe sub 6,600, And that makes the probability of this thing going to, 40 a little bit harder for tomorrow. Okay. All right. So how are we doing out there? We getting some quick profit? Is anybody holding it longer? Okay, so I'm going to keep the 65 and 70, 75 and 80. I'm going to keep those trades pending for the morning. So I'll keep these trades working for the morning. Okay, there we go. Biff, 110 out at 40, 110 out at 55. Very nice. Took profit, Ted. Sandy, yes, good stuff. In and out, 3 minutes, 25% win. Jeff, good. Okay, very good, Bill. Okay, Larry, did you get out? Looks like this market is trying to get that bounce. We'll see. I mean, personally, I just hope this thing fades all day. We haven't had a really, I mean, look at this direction. We haven't really had a directional move since the last two Thursdays, right? This was the big melt up on Thursday, and then it gave it back on non-farm, and then it was choppy. Perfect daily profit play, perfect daily profit play, perfect daily profit play. This was Thursday, so it was directional. Perfect daily profit play. Perfect. I mean, I'm putting X's here as in like there's no movement, right? No movement, no movement, even though it was wild and crazy FOMC. So that's a lot of nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8 days has been a big nothing burger. Bear call spread in at 2 out at 1. Jim, nice. How wide you go on that, Jim? To get filled at $2, how wide you go? Did you go like 15, 20 wide on that? Okay, Larry says, nope, you know me. All right. So now we hang out. Um, I guess, I mean, maybe I can revisit this and we got the quick bear call spread. I mean, can we get a reverse iron condor again? Just kind of let it run for the day. Let's go back to today. I'm kind of revisiting this whole trade again. 20, 25, 40, 35. It's offering 590. I just don't know if I'm gonna get it filled. There it is. So $6 maybe. So that'd be what's this dead zone here? So 560. 15-point dead zone. Hmm. Double ups, if you want to go for a butterfly spread at 66.50, that's not a bad spot. 66.50 or the 6600, those could be pretty inexpensive butterflies today for a broke or for just a standard butterfly for double ups. I'm looking at this here. So if we can get to 66, I don't love any time that we see a big gamma level at the 100. I love it when this big gamma level here is at the 50, not the 100. That's a little bit harder ask for the market, right? If you're asking for this thing to go to a 100 plus percent ATR to hit that's it can happen, but I'd much rather see it at the 50%. That's a much more reasonable target to hit every single day. So I'm thinking like this is going to be cheap. This is going to be cheap. And if price goes nowhere today, nothing we can do about it. But I think price is hopefully going to be more directional. So I'm going to keep just the trades that I had running as is, which is going to be the 65, the 60, the 65 by 70, and the 75 by 80. If we get those filled, I'll keep an eye on those for another dollar credit each. Okay. Thanks, Sherry. Appreciate that. It's good feedback. Hopefully we're having some fun, having some success. That's the whole point. Are you still? Yeah, I still have those pending, David. Yep. So the 65 by 70 bear call and the 75 by 80 bear call So this one is quick win on daily profit play. So DPP update, live session, the 66.55 sell call by 66.60, buy call entry $1, close at 45-cent debit. Okay, keeping the other two bear call spreads pending. So 66.65, 66.70, and the 66.75, 66.80. Okay. So just quick update there. So we got in and out for a quick 55 cents on the contract. That's a nice win. And then we'll see if price can maybe fill us on the other two. Looking to stay out of the way. I was going for this like 15-point dead zone. It's just not really offering a ton. Is price falling back down? Well, a little bit. Fall down price. 66.40 would be a nice win. I'd like to get out of that 66.40 butterfly unscathed tomorrow. You know, the nice thing about that trade tomorrow is if somehow we're flirting between like this 6600, 6620, 6620, 30, 40, whatever, that is also our profit trap for the broken wing. So that broken wing call fly, like so, we pulled in $1. Okay. That pin price is 66.40. So if we're around that tomorrow, we might be able to generate some bonus profit. If we're greater than 45, then obviously that's no good. So, the lower the better to make this just a higher probability that we keep the dollar, but we do have that bonus trap. I want to manage it because I think somehow maybe psychologically this like 66.50 level is maybe like this week's high. Wishful thinking. But if we can manage that tomorrow, we might be able to come out of that thing with a win. Okay. All right. Bill says the seem to struggle managing the late in the day butterflies. Yeah, I mean, if you're taking the butterflies, Bill, like double ups, especially if you're taking those butterflies, look, here's how I managed to trade early this week. I don't remember what day it was. I guess I can look at the double up tracker. But I had a they were actually two. Were they two iron flies? No, they're two butterflies. I looked at both of them together, right? So if I've got two trades running together, I'm watching the P&L on both. So in my alert, I said, I'm looking for net profit. Ideally, I want to get $3 or better credit on one of them, and I got 240. So I didn't get my full $3 that I wanted. I was hoping I could at least make $100 on the trades, but when together and collectively they were net $50 or net $100, I was looking to just take the profit. So if you're ever taking like both sides in a butterfly trade where you have, price goes up to the call fly, price goes down to the put fly, look at those positions together and watch your P&L. Because if I'm taking those, obviously I'm probably going to lose on one and win on the other. But it's like, can I win enough on one to pay for both, or can I win enough on one, manage risk on the other, to hopefully end up getting a net profit? So it is, it's definitely some short term management when it's a zero DTE. But yeah, just watch the P&L. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll just kind of chillax for now. I unfortunately I really wanted that inverse iron condor today. It's just not taking. I'm not going to settle for like 60, 70 cents. So I won't. I'll just pass on that trade. We've got our quick 55-cent winner, and then we'll see what price does from here. But 100% ATR is around 43. I've got the next sell level at 65. So this is going to be, if we get to 65, that's a 150% ATR. I don't think we're going to hit that today. Anything is possible, but this is another thing that's been kind of wild and crazy in the markets. The VIX is going up, and yet the market won't go down. This is really weird volatility right now, right? I mean, we basically had a VIX expiration, reset the VIX down to sub 15. We're going up on the VIX this morning, and the markets won't really go down. So I don't know what to make of it outside of just, risk management is the most important thing. Get your key levels and hopefully we're going to be just fine. So on that note, and I kind of hate doing this again, but I'm probably going to throw another broken butterfly because I don't think that we can keep just going up higher aggressively. I think if we go out far enough, this back half of September hopefully is going to be a crappy time. I hope it is, or at least it's going to struggle to go higher. Let's go let's go Monday. I don't have an expiration for Monday. How high up can I go on this option chain? So I can go up to like 67, 45, and 50, put in a broken wing. Okay. So 50 and 70. That's 20 wide. That's a little bit more risk, but I pulled in about $2 income. It's not awful, but I'd like to go maybe a little bit higher out. Wow, that's a big drop off. Okay. So if I can get filled in this one for $1, I'll take this trade. Gosh, that makes a huge difference. 12 delta on the pin price. Can I get filled for $1 on this one? Let's see if we can get filled for $1 on this one. I'm gonna put a pending order in for this is Monday the 29th. So broken wing butterfly, 50, 60, and 80 are the combos there. It's trading for 75 cents right now. If this gets filled for $1, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean it's broken until it's not. I mean it's not broken. It's just suppressed. It's intentional suppression by basically vol funds that just all they do is sell VIX, sell VIX, sell VIX. And the levels to watch is when VIX goes to like 17, 18, 19, those vol suppression funds like stop shorting and they just stay neutral. But if the markets are defending, again, like it's a positive gamma environment, the market's just buying dips every single dip, every single dip. That VIX does not typically go above like 19 or 20. It's hard to get it above 19 or 20. Yes, correct. That's what I'm going after. I'm going towards the end of the month because I have a 26th expiration. I have a 30th expiration. I have October 3rd expiration. So I'm going to look to take this one for $1. And that would be a 67.60. Okay. And that would mean that price would have to go up around 100 and what? 130 points higher. Not saying that it can't. Hopefully that it won't. See if this will fill for $1. Yep. So let me see if this will take for $1. I'm going to put this one pending. Okay, so I'll add this in. If it gets filled, I'll update it in the tracker, but I'll put it in Telegram right now. Pending order. SPX 9/29 expiration. 67.50. 67.60. So there's a 1,000 wide profit trap. I like that even better, actually. And a buy at 67.80. So let me make sure that is the right mechanics. That gives us 1,000. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's my Michigan accent. Oh yeah. Max profit of $1,100 because if we get this right, we have a 10 wide profit trap. So I like that a little bit more if we get filled for $1 on this one. So $1 credit pending order, not filled. This is a Monday, September 29 expiration. Broken wing butterfly. The price stays less than 67.50. We keep the $1 credit upon entry. This also provides a $10 wide profit trap for bonus profit. $9 max risk. Expect to move today, plus minus, is it like plus minus 20 something? We're at 22 right now, plus minus 22. But we're up some fresh highs this morning. So it looks like that futures market is bouncing. Like I said, look at the thing. So FOMC, it came down below it, tested, and here we are going back up. So I'm as curious as you are. Is this a, sweep the low? Is this actually a topping pattern where we go to a lower high and then sell off? Or is this manipulation where we sweep the lows and then come right back up to the highs and it's just grind higher? Not sure. We're about to find out. I'm hoping that we just go down. Like I said, this is an interesting jump in AAII sentiment, having like the bulls really step off the neutral zone and getting into bullish. So that's a 7% drop in bearish sentiment. That's a jump of 13.7% in bullish sentiment. And it feels like all the neutral parties are like, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. So jump into the markets at all-time highs. I missed the September 30th broken wing butterfly. So I'm not doing, I mean, did you take that one or did you not? The one that I just posted in Telegram is a September 29th expiration. And that's trading for 85 cents. I'm putting it as a pending order for $1. So price is gonna have to go a little bit higher for that to fill. Our 65 and 70 is not filled yet. Our 75 and 80 is not filled yet. So the bear call spreads for today have still not filled for trades 2 and 3. So I'll wait for those a little bit. Posted days ago. Well, I mean, okay, fine. But it's probably going to be a higher credit. If you take the same trade that I took, it's which one was it? So on the 16th, so 2 days ago, I posted this September 30th, 67.50, 60, and 80 for $1.05. That trade is probably offering more premium right now. Let me check. So that trade is filled. That's the 30th. So broken wing, 50, 60. Yeah. So it's $1.05. I'm down a few bucks. If you wanted to take this trade right now, it's offering like $1.10, $1.15 credit. So it's up to you if you want to take the trade. I don't mind it. I mean, we're looking at the 16 delta right now, which is mechanically it should stay out of the way. Hopefully it does. I think some of the major news is out of the way. We had non-farm, we had inflation, we had Fed. The only thing we have at the end of the month is end of month, end of quarter PCE. That's it. But I don't see that being like a huge game-changing move. So I'm hoping that just the market just kind of stays, I don't know, struggles to go higher. That's kind of all I'm asking for is the second half of September to not be freaking bullish every single day. Futures setting a chart alarm, setting a chart alarm. The day is not done. Yeah, so I just showed that one. This is the 9/30 expiration broken wing. I have an October 3rd broken wing. I have a October 3rd broken wing. Like I said, I have a decent amount of near-term risk. There's a September 26th broken wing. There's the 19th. This is the one that I'm watching for also Friday. This is tomorrow. And then there's this one. This is the one that's probably the most at risk because we're closest to price. Right now we're trading at 66.40. This is my strike price. So you can see I'm down $700 on this trade. My max risk is like 900. But I still have till tomorrow for flirting with this profit trap. We might get very lucky on this trade tomorrow, but this darn market might want to go up to like freaking 67 tomorrow too. Who knows? I hope that it doesn't. I obviously am like exhausted with this freaking melt up, man. I'm just it's seriously like breaking all sorts of like technical rules. It like refuses to go down. So I get it, but I'm trying to let option mechanics be option mechanics. I'm trying to let probabilities be probabilities, and I'm hoping that this market can't stretch too much higher. So I don't mind the melt up. I mean, my gosh, I'm sitting here at highs again for the year. No complaints on that, and I was going to embrace the melt up. Here is that potential like FOMC breakout. Here's the FOMC candle, this big indecision candle, and then here is the breakout that we're experiencing today. So does it keep going higher? We're about to find out. And that maybe puts us up towards 67. I mean, even today, it's like this 0 DTE, like positive gamma environment just is relentless on just like buy every freaking dip, every freaking dip, every freaking dip. And here's another day, right? Market pulls back, market goes up. Are we going to finish higher in the day? Probably. I would imagine we are. And we're again at all-time highs. So Just not much to derail this freaking train. And this is why I'm watching futures to see, like, are we in fact going right up to these highs from futures this morning? But our levels here, coming up towards the 100% ATR. If I'm getting filled on the other bear call spreads, it's going to be the 65. So this actually would be 65 bear call. Okay. And for the rest of the day, are we going to sit here at the 100% ATR? Are we getting the 50 today? Maybe. You got the plus minus on the day. Okay. Yeah, Thinkorswim is generally a little bit higher. So my plus minus on the day is around 21 right now. Thinkorswim's probably 25 or 26. But based on that, I mean, from current price, so we open here, we went down about 16 points. We are now up around 13 points. If we go up to 20, 25, we're up to 65.50. We're finding that gamma level. So do we hit there, install? Do we run a little bit higher and then finish and close? I'm just looking at the ATRs, right? 50% ATR already hit. 100% ATR right around the corner. That's sitting at 45, 46 right now. All right, just got filled. So that broken wing did get filled. Okay, so this one is now filled. And the 65 by 70 just got filled for a bear call spread. So the 65.70 is now filled for $1. All right. Don't be another stupid ass day. That's all I got to say. So broken wing filled. Let me get this in the tracker. Two more trades in, 479. 918 is the day. We're trading around 66.45. I'll put in the broken wing first. This is a 929 expiration. 67.50 call. 67.60 call. And 67.80 call. That is a 10 wide for $1 credit. And then the bear call for today, trade 480, 918 expiration, 66.45 SPX. We went a little bit higher in this one. Sell the 66.65, 66.70. 5 wide filled for $1. Okay, so I mean, price would have to get up to the 140 to 50% ATR today. I'm hoping that it does not do that. So this is for the 18th. There's a bear call spread right there. And this is another broken wing butterfly. Okay, so there's my additional bear call spread for $1 today. It's already up 15 bucks. I'm going to set another take profit here at 50 cents. See if we can grab another 50 cents out of this one for a winner. Honestly, it'd be nice to not even have to touch it and grab another 100 bucks out of it. But I'll just set I'll do 40. Let's do 40 cents in this one. And let's do 30 cents. So if we fall back to intraday lows, I'll move this chart alarm up here. So if we start to see price, at the 100% ATR, if it starts to fall a little bit, then our dollar should be showing some profit. So if we can get another 50, 60 cents out of that one, I'd be pretty happy. Arthur, these trades are posted for members in Daily Profit Play and Telegram. So this room is free. The service for all my trades is Daily Profit Play. There's an alert service. It goes right into Telegram and the tracker. So that's where all these trades are getting posted. Okay. I'm going to set this thing at 20 cents. I'll keep an eye on this one. I'm going to be out of the office this afternoon around, I don't know what time. I think around like 3 p.m. So while we're at it, I did have a nice masterclass yesterday in newsbreakers. After we get through this month, so we're we're less than 2 weeks out from finishing up the month and the quarter. We are going to be getting Kathy. It's in Telegram. So the trades I'm posting are in Telegram for members. Okay. And we had a really good masterclass yesterday. Deanna can confirm if we had that class posted. We did find some fresh trades. So let me go new chat here. Newsbreakers. So newsbreakers yesterday, we added trades in FDX for FedEx. They have earnings today after market, and then Micron has earnings next week. And Carnival Cruise Lines, we have 3 pending orders, each one offering at least 100% or better. So pending orders, there's like newsbreakers. I had an interesting session yesterday where I'm like, look, this is a labor intensive service that I run. I'm using $4,000 a year of my software to run the service. I'm using a variety of strategies. So I want to make sure that if you are looking for high probability trades, calculating the edge based on like average earnings, news catalysts, gamma levels, liquidity levels, all these things, and we find a trade that's offering 100% or better reward to risk, that's the trade. So I'm using a lot of my resources to service newsbreakers, but we've been winning 70+% of our trades. Model portfolios up 20 grand. And the last couple of trades, like this last 2 weeks, we had a trade in AVGO that paid, our risk was $1.50. We got paid $200. Google was, I took a small win of $50. I was only risking 150. I made 50. So I made 30% return on risk, which isn't too bad. That was a quick win. But anyway, some of the winners have been solid. 119%. Losses at 40%, winner at 87%, losses at 13 and 10%. Okay, 106% winner, 86% winner, 85% winner. Just consistent, 100% winner. So anyway, good stuff. Okay, yep, Arthur says class was great, good. So on that note, I'd like to talk about a little bit. If you're interested in getting into my newsbreakers, this class is going to get very, very busy here in a couple of weeks. I will sprinkle in another master class. Let me check my calendar for right now. So calendar, if you'd like to jump into a master class with me tomorrow, let's do a master class on newsbreakers tomorrow. Okay. Today I'm going to be out of the office, so I can't squeeze it in today, but we did one yesterday. That recording will be posted in your classroom. We'll do another master class tomorrow. Okay. So on that note, as we're just kind of letting price do its thing for the day, hopefully this 50 level will hold. We'll come back and revisit all this in a moment, but highest gamma level I'm seeing is at 50. We are starting to get some levels to the upside. 50 is my biggest one. I'm hoping that's a call resistance zone right above that 100% ATR. If that hits and rejects, that would be kind of nice. I don't want to see it hit and just blow through it, but time will tell. So we're filled at 65. So my risk on my bear call spread right now is up here. I use a yellow line. So 65 for $1. As long as price doesn't go above that, we're going to be fine. So if price just stalls on the day, we're going to be fine. If price goes back down for the day, we're going to be great. Okay. If we hit this level, by the way, I'm just curious on a percentage. That would be like from the close, we're moving up 1+%. I mean, VIX is at 15. We shouldn't be moving 1%. Even from the close, we shouldn't be moving 1%. But I'm telling you, man, like this freaking positive gamma environment is like just so strong and zero DT where it's like buy everything. I mean, today's a good example. Yesterday as well, I saw all of these zero DTs just like light up all day to kind of defend that 60 65.50 zone. So anyway, here we are again, all-time highs. We'll see if this has some type of resistance on it just above the 100% and hitting that big gamma level for the day. Okay. All right. So let's do this. This is Newsbreakers. Like I said, I'll have a masterclass on this tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to dive into, what my software does, how we calculate these trades out, try to scan and find some trades we're going to scan out for next week as well as the first week of October. I usually like to go like 1 and 2 weeks out for these scans for Newsbreakers and try to find some trades and price them out. Average hold time is typically a week, so 1 to 5 days. We cannot guarantee any specific future results. There's always risk in trading, as you know. So don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. You want to check out our terms, conditions, check out our Trading Pub homepage. Okay. In trading, there's going to be winners and losers. My job is to find an edge in trading so we can trade probabilities and winners.